I'm not really far from home, maybe 10 or 15 miles. And I looked on Google Maps and decided to come out here and put up my tent. And not my tent, I'm camping with my hammock still. It's the last day of September in Michigan. And it's just a beautiful time of year. I wanted to tell you why this is not a good stealth camping spot. They specifically prohibit camping, campfires, even leaving the trail. Now you might say, ah, the heck with them, if you're a good stealth camper, you just disappear into the woods. Okay, that's not right. Here's an aerial map of the place. Actually, that's only a part of the place. It's much bigger. But because there's so much population around and there are so many specific rules, I'm going to find another place to hang my hammock. And the reason is, it says no dogs allowed, but the locals take over a park like this. And every morning they go with their dogs, or every evening. They've got their routine and they're utilizing this. Who utilizes this? 90% locals. So they know what's normal and they will know what's abnormal. They see somebody off the trail, which would be me. It's not a good place to scout the camp, because they would see me as infringing on their territory and they would call the cops, and the cops would come out and they'd find me. The other thing is, when people are walking a dog, the dog will go off the trail when he smells your scent. So places where there are dog walkers and regular locals that would know that you're out of place, avoid them if you're stealth camping. So glad I left early, glad it's a beautiful day. I'll just keep rolling, and I know I will find a spot, probably a good one. Hunting for a camping spot, stealthily. Oh, I wanted to show you this. There's this purple-blue flower that grows around here. It starts blossoming in July, mid-July. And this has hung around for so long. This is chicory. Look at that. I bet you if you put a microscope on this, you would find a lot of white circles, like pixels. Pixels? I don't know. Look at that beautiful little bee. Crazy colors. That's the thing. With nature, you do not need the Grand Canyon or Niagara Falls. There's so much to see right here. Look at this little filaments. That metal color on that fascinating insect. Go for it, dude. The roots of chicory are often used. I think in New Orleans they mix them with coffee grounds. While we're talking plants, this is staghorn sumac. Grows around here. Look at it, it's drooping. I haven't seen that happen. Usually it's standing up. Now, they say that if you take this and steep it in water, hot water, you'll get like a lemonade. One time I did that when I was a Boy Scout. It must have been the wrong time of year. So I put these in my little Boy Scout cook kit, and the water starts to get hot over the fire, and these little worms started wiggling out of it. Now it's just, oh! So, I haven't had good experiences with foraging. On a lot of my long bike trips, I can fish, but you really can't trap. You know, they say, all right, I have some survival snares, and set out 10 of them, hopefully, then you'll get one rabbit overnight. If you're moving along, it's pretty much impossible to forage unless you just get incredibly lucky and stumble across, you know, an old apple orchard or something. But and there is roadkill. A couple of different times when I knew it was fresh. I once ate a rabbit. Twice I did. But they were still warm. And once I came across a doe, a white-tailed deer, female, that had been hit by a car on a remote mountain road in West Virginia. And I knew that it had just happened It was like 4 a.m. I was leaving from a week of hunting with my buddies, deer hunting, in a cabin that we rented. And I had to get back to work, so I had a long drive, and I was up early, and there was about an inch of fresh snow. There was one pair of tracks, and then the deer laying on the side of the road with no snow on her. So I knew that that was a fresh deer. I put the rope around the deer's neck to drag it out into the bushes where I could butcher it, so if a school bus full of kids came by, they wouldn't say, hey, what's going on with that? Oh no! Anyway, so, but as I started to drag it, oh, it's a horrible memory. The deer was not dead, and it regained consciousness and went, "Aah!" Screaming. And I did the right thing. I immediately took out my knife and euthanized her. Once I butchered her, I found that her pelvis had been crushed by the impact, so she would have never healed. It was a quick death rather than an agonizing death, and I felt good about that. And she was delicious, put to good use. The other roadkill I ate were 2 rabbits at different points in my life that I pedaled by, and I thought, this rabbit is fresh as can be. And it was true. Skinned them, gutted them, cooked them. Utilized them, because they would have just laid there until raccoons got them, or any kind of scavenger like that. Now I'm looking for a place with trees where I can hang my hammock. Ah, I hit that damn button again. This camera, I love it. It's worked so well for me. However, there's a button right where I hold the camera that either zooms in or zooms out. And when I'm talking to you and absorbed in what I'm saying to you, I often hit that button. I don't mean to, and all of a sudden they're looking up my nose thinking, why doesn't he clip his nose hair? So, oh, man, that looks just like pea soup. And I guess people could fish here, but they're not. It's kind of nice in an area like this. You want some seclusion, unless you're along a hiking trail. The best way to know if there's not a lot of people around is because sportsmen have a pickup truck and they got to park it before they enter the woods. This is also how the DNR catches them when they break the game laws. You got to take your boat out of the water at a boat launch. Okay, so your truck is parked there and you're fishing, and okay, you decide to keep 5 more walleye than you're supposed to. Well, it's so easy for the DNR to go right where you are parked and just wait for you. You got to come out of the woods right there. So it's interesting because the DNR is hunting the hunters who break the law. And I'm looking at this new view, and I just saw a juvenile bass right down there. Look at this, how it opened up. That's pretty cool. I love exploring because you come around the corner and you don't know what might be there. Okay, sometimes it's the ruins of something else, but sometimes it's really cool. I hear that train way far away. So peaceful. No clouds. Not hot. Beautiful sunshine. It's supposed to get windy this afternoon and evening. Very little chance of rain, they say. I think I can get my bike all the way down there. Have some peace and quiet. The thing is, though, all the young trees are too small for me to hang my hammock. I knew the bride when she used to rock and roll. Used to want to party. Nah. Dead, too risky. Drop hazard. Maybe from here to there. Solid. Is that solid? Yeah, it's alive. Alright, glad I brought my saw. I'll just clear some of this and hang the hammock twixt here and there and off the little beaten path, which isn't getting used because it's along a muddy old pond along an old abandoned road. Alright, so I can see easily. Get lost coming back with my bike and my gear. What up, Wilson? Well, speaking of possums, what? Come on. Hey there. Why am I not seeing you on the screen? There we go. How are you, little fella? Awesome possum. That was a little one. Before I left home, I put some quick rolled oats in the Ziploc bag you see here and threw in some salt and brown sugar, cinnamon and nutmeg so I don't have to carry those things along. And this will make 2 different batches of oatmeal. My water's boiling. It doesn't have to boil, it'll thicken up. And I'll eat it right out of the pan and it'll be delicious. Well, that didn't take long. Getting close to sundown. Quiet and peaceful. Last weekend, I'll post a link at the end of this video to the video I shot last weekend when I went out stealth camping by the railroads. It was noisy but fun. And it was 90 degrees. There was a point Saturday afternoon where it was just hot. I had to get off the road and get in the shade. And during the week we had a huge change in the weather, which brings it back to how it should be on September 30th in lower Michigan. And now it's nippy, but not really. It's probably 20 degrees. Well, from 90, I would say it's 50 right now. 40-degree swing. Alright, yeah. My body's getting used to it. And that's why I had oatmeal for dinner instead of a hamburger. Because it gets inside you and sticks to your ribs and warms you up. Also, it's supposed to go down to 40 tonight. And I'm in the hammock. But I've got all 3 of my shirts on. 2 of them are pretty warm. And so I'm letting my body acclimate. And I know that tomorrow morning it will still be acclimating because it'll be even colder. But after a few days and nights of this, this would be way too much clothes, because that's how the human body adjusts. And it's really handy that we do this. It's so amazing too. Oh, it's a cold morning. Man, I froze last night. I got my summer sleeping bag, my summer sleeping rig, that hammock. And I ended up using the tarp like a blanket. It was cold. So I'm going to another site tonight. Don't know where that is. But I'm packing up now. I'm going to forego coffee because I know that about 5 miles away is a McDonald's. I need a charge for my camera anyway. And that'll be easier just to pack up. It won't take long. And get to McDonald's and hot coffee. Packing up went quick, but it was hard because my fingers are numb. That's how cold it is. So, get Wilson up the hill where I put my gear, and then I'm going to load up. I'm going to head out. It's a beautiful day. I'm sure it'll warm up. I'm buying some gloves, first store I come to. Same place the next morning. Not sunshine anymore, it's foggy and cold. And I'm packed up and headed down that foggy trail. Towards coffee. Look at the cattails. And the sun burning through the fog. Soon I will be warm, either from pedaling or from sunshine. Told ya. Found a nice big patch of mature forest. Parked Wilson over there. You see cars. This is really big. There's no trespassing sign. There's no sign of man. There's no for sale sign. There's down timber, which means nobody comes here to cut wood. See my drinking bottle? It's blue. And my saddlebags over there. That's where I'm going to hang my hammock. One of the reasons is, look at the forest all around it. And if someone was to walk in from those fields, see there are fields out there. And it's a fluke, but somebody might be out here hunting or setting up a tree stand or a blind for hunting season that comes in. Actually, bow hunting for deer should be already going on. I saw 4 wild turkeys, females, as I was moving from where I parked Wilson this way, carrying all my gear. I stopped and I thought, if someone comes that way, my blue hammock will be visible for a long ways. So I've thought this over, and I think the best spot for seclusion and cover, and I might even have a fire tonight right against that giant tree that's fallen. I got hamburgers to cook. Well, I have a very bad dilemma. I forgot salt. I think I'm going to crush up some spicy Fritos that I got and sort of put that crushed Fritos the crust on the outside of a hamburger and then just fry it that way. I'll see what happens. But it's better than no salt at all. Can't go for that. My blood pressure keeps going low. This is what I got so far. My hammock. There's the road way over there. And I saw wild turkeys that way and that way. And so what I'm doing, I put up this camo so that I can have my camera on that tripod, and I'm just going to spend some time listening to my beautiful music and beautiful words that I've recorded from YouTube Red so I can play them back while I loaf and while I watch. This place ought to be full of deer and wild turkeys. Let me show you what it looks like from out here. The wild turkey's eye view, they have such sharp eyes and hearing. Ben Franklin wanted to make them. The wild turkey, the national bird, but the bald eagle got it. Politics. There we go. So, smash the rest of these so I can put the powdered Fritos on the burgers because I don't have any salt and pepper. How they look. That is beautiful. It's sloppy, it doesn't pour right. You're supposed to transfer it into a little bottle, a little squirter bottle. But when I'm using this, I use a lot of it. The heat. It's a gasoline additive. You dump it in your gas tank. It's supposed to prevent fuel line freeze up and get water out of your gasoline if you got some condensation in your gas tank. I guess that's enough. Come on. Alright, we're going to go with that much. Yeah. Are you going now? I can't even see the flame. Yes. Good. So this goes here. The next thing you know, we'll have hamburgers. Well, I gotta wait for it. The booger's stuck. Come on. I didn't bring a spatula. There we go. That'll do, Dougie. I'm predicting deliciousness. It's a bold prediction, I know. pan. Damn. It's stuck in there. My back scratcher. To the rescue. Woohoo! Look at that. Oh. Oh. That is real good. Frito encrusted burger. Oh god, that was so good. I'm getting every little tidbit. It's crispy and crusty and cheesy and beefy. And Frito-y. Oh, they're tricky. They're all over the place. Hey, cool. Look at this. Whoa! Oh. Can anyone identify them? Okay, you want to go? Bye-bye. Quite the little jumpers. They peed on me. Not that it means anything. When I was a kid in Boy Scouts, oh, you'll get warts. Never happened. Look at that. So I want to show you my the rig I came up with, because I don't want to freeze my butt tonight. I had to utilize a tarp, but I just don't have much string, any kind of cordage. I like it. It works pretty good. It's a cold morning. The camera's been on all night, so I don't want to fog it up. But I do want to show you the interior view of my hammock setup, which worked great compared to the night before when I knew I had a problem with way too light equipment when the weather just changed overnight from hot summer to cold fall. So I've got my shirt hanging blocking a little bit of the air that's flowing out of here.
it's a pretty good setup. See where my feet are? There's a little bit of moisture after a whole night. It is not a problem. There's enough ventilation coming from the sides that just hang down. And I was much warmer last night than I was the previous night. And it's the same temperature outside and same equipment, just a different configuration. So I'm learning this hammock camping thing. Now I'll get the pancakes rolling. I'm getting used to the cold. I think that's what it was. The configuration of the sleeping bag and everything worked out really well. But I think also that my body has morphed in the last couple days. Like it always does when the seasons change and the weather changes, and I gotta go from sweaty hot to nippy. I like nippy much better, so I love fall. Look at the colors are coming on. It's Monday morning. I gotta be back tonight. And that road is really busy before dawn on Monday morning. Everybody trying to get to work, start their week. Alright, what happens is sometimes you're walking through the undergrowth and you get burrs on you. These are tiny little seeds that get carried across the forest by humans or animals and drop somewhere else, and they're not easy to get off, and I got a bunch of them, and they come from this plant over here. Well, here are bigger burrs, but this is the one with the smaller kind. See, they've got oval leaves that are pointed. You can see them all now. Isn't that amazing how your eye picks up on one type of plant and then it's like all you see? So I was walking through there and got all those on my sweatpants. So I've got a plastic comb. I'll just comb them off. Look at them all. What a pretty day. I'm gonna do some pedaling. I can't do any more filming because I'm running out of electric. I've got a list though of things I need for the next trip, and one is more batteries so we can share more times. More good times.